Hello Fever River Rail fans, and welcome back to Fever River Reviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at Riverossi's new run of 2-truck heisler. Here we have the 2-truck DCC sound version for the Curtis Lumber Company. It is, cab number is 2. Here's all the end of the box information. Nothing on the other side, front, bottom, top. A little bit of information on the back side. Not much. California. Anyhow. So front of the box has a big window on it. Not that you can see much with the padding, and sorry for the glare. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, so simple slide open box, just like Riverossi likes to do. Got front padding, and there is the engine. Pull that out and set it to the side for a moment. Detail bag and paperwork. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Okay, here we have the English. So here's the English. Feel free to pause the video at any point here to read this. Some safety notes. And the rest of the paper is different languages for that. Let's see, exploded view and parts list. All the different detail bits and that you can have on, and how to change them out, how to change wheels. Backside is how to disassemble the locomotive to access the DCC board. Once again, I have the DCC sound equipped version here. So, sorry about any outside. Then here we've got a troubleshooter guide. Nothing too interesting here. No history on the locomotive, unfortunately. Alright, so let's take a look at the detail parts here. So it looks like we've got an oil tank, we got a geared driver with the traction tires, we've got some horn hook couplers, and we've got an alternate funnel. Alright, now on to the engine here. Normal 2-piece plastic container, just like everyone else uses. Pops out at the end, and a plastic cover to protect from any scratches. So there we have it, the 2-truck heisler, Riverossi's latest run. I don't think this is a new tooling, but it looks very nice. A little bit of the smoke or firebox coming out in front of the cab. Got a silver funnel, and got the one style of the headlights. Let's see. Look at there are no alternate headlights like the 3-truck version has, but there's that. I'm going to go ahead, weigh this, and we're going to throw it onto the programming track and do our initial testing. So there's the weight, 7.6 ounces. Not too heavy, not too light. Judging by the 3-truck version I have, this is probably still going to be a pretty good puller though. So let's pop over to the programmer. First and foremost, on the KD NMRA, the KD gauge here, we've got a good coupler height on the front, as well as the trip pin is clear on the bottom. And for the back, reposition just a little bit here, it's also clear. All right, so got our engine brought up. Okay, so some of the idle sounds here. Let's see. Now this is complete factory setting. This is the bell. It's a little fast for my taste. Hopefully there's a option for that. Turn that off. I quite like the whistle. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and turn 0 on, and there goes the dynamo. This is set to reverse. I can't quite see a taillight there. Let's go around to the front. And there's the headlight. Let's... Okay, so... I don't know if you can see it well, but I am set to go forward. Let's go ahead and give it some throttle. Okay, so it seems from factory, set it into reverse here, seems from factory the direction is screwed up a little bit. Yeah. So that was 9% on the throttle. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and take a look at, let's see, 1% throttle. And that is 1% throttle right there. That's nice low creep. And full throttle, a little bit of momentum there. Alright, so back it on up here. Let's see. And 1% in reverse. This is a really smooth runner right out of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and get this program to the cab number and maybe check out some of the alternate whistles. And I'll come back, throw it on the rollers, we'll take a close look at the mechanism, and maybe check out some of the other sounds. Alright, I've got it all programmed up now. Being ESU, I have no idea how to change what I'm changing the whistle to. I do know how to change the CV, but I don't know what other options are available on this. So here we've got the close-up of the running gear, the drivetrain, and it's a Heisler. It's got the 2 cylinders in a V pattern going down to a central drive shaft, and that drive shaft goes to either end of the locomotive to power the wheel sets. With the eccentrics there for the lubrication, and here you get a good look at the U-joint for the drive shaft. So we're going to go ahead and get this broke in, and then we'll run out to the... No, let's go ahead. Full speed right there. Damn, that's got some momentum to it. May have to edit that a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get this broke in, and I will bring you guys back with a little log train and some history in a little bit. So we'll be right back. With an MSRP of $429.99 for the DCC with sound and $309 for just straight DC or DCC ready, so far I'm happy with this.
I hate to see that.
Aside from having the directions reversed as of this time, I'm really happy with this. I got a nice little complement of log cars. Got a KD logging caboose with 3 Riverossi log cars and 4 KD disconnects, followed by another KD logging caboose. Nice little consist to go with this. So this right here is full speed for this model. Far from the fastest thing in the world, but far faster than any geared steamer has any right to go. Alright, sorry for all the background noise. I am out on the main layout. But here we are on Galena Hill, making our charge up here. So I apologize I don't have any exact dates, but the Heislers were designed as a competition alternative to the Shays and Climaxes, and I'm spinning out. Barely past the second bridge with this short log train, and we have spun out. Fortunately, there is a traction tire.
Who short-circuited the track?
Oh, I think I turned it off. Well,
Sorry.
Something down there?
Let's see here.
Do I need to come give you a tow?
Yes.
Alright, I'll disconnect from my train.
Alright. Got another engine coming to give us a little tow. Alright, and here's our little rescue engine. One of the later replacement and bad joint. There we go. So one of the later replacements of the Heislers, the Shays, and the Climaxes, the EMD SWs. That might be a video for a later date. But anyhow, as I was saying, the Heislers were built by Heisler Locomotive Works as direct competition to the Climax and Shay locomotives built by Climax and Lima. Each of the different geared engines have their own pros and cons. Shays had a low center of gravity, but all their cylinders were on one side and beat the hell out of the one side of the track. Climaxes, due to their cylinder arrangement, were bouncy, and Heislers had a tendency to rock side to side. So once again, they all had their pros too. Like I said, the Shays had a low center of gravity. Climaxes had I think easier maintenance. It's been a while since I've actually read up on these, so I'm sorry, people.
Power. Here we go, across the bridge here.
So go ahead, remove the SW. They'll clear the switch. Then finally, the Heislers, for their pros, they actually had a 2-speed gearbox. So they tended to be the fastest of the 3 big geared steam engines. They also had a relatively easy maintenance, but with the V-pattern cylinders going into the central drive shaft, they weren't as easy to work on as a Climax. Disclaimer, I could be completely talking out my ass right now. I don't know. So, once we get back over to chip, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and I will show you guys how to replace the driver with the one with the traction tire on it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and swap out the geared driver on the back truck, which is going to be this one, and you're going to need to get to the gears and driver and get them out of there, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver to get that screw. And for the side rods, I've actually found that the Broadway Limited imports tool they include on most of their steam engines to replace traction tires actually fits pretty good. So we're going to go ahead, pull off the screw here first. There we go. And I always like using tweezers to actually move my screws. So we'll set that off to the side here. And there is the inside of the gearing of the truck. So you got the drive shaft from the motor and the gearbox here, going to the drive shaft, and it goes to the back axle, or on the front axle. And we'll go ahead and gently set this on one side, and we will go ahead get the nut screw, hex screw out of the side rod once again, using the tweezers to get that out. And that is one out of the way. Then we'll do it the exact same on the other side. And once again, put that out of the way. So there we have both the original geared driver, the non-traction tire driver off. And we're going to go ahead and set this back in real quick. Then we'll check the fit, and that fits good. So next we got to open up the parts bag. There we go. And that failed. So once again, in the parts bag, we've got the oil tank rather than the coal tank. We've got the other driver here with the traction tire. Get it focused. Yeah, nice and focused there. Set that right there. I also have this brake pipe. And if you are still old school, includes a set of horn hook couplers. Get help. If you still use these, get help. All right, so let's go ahead and get the driver put back together. It's the same process. I got to sit down so I can see this better. So I am going to go ahead, turn, and use that as reference. Okay. So we're showing my fat head.
Going through.
Alright, this is far harder than it needs to be. I'm probably just a moron, and I apologize if this is out of frame. Alright, there we go. Now that's started. Alright, there we have that back in. Gonna have to, that is cross-threaded, isn't it? Alright, there we have it. That is in. It rolls freely. Let's go get the other side here now. Alright, let's see here.
The deal is when the railroad calls, I have to go run. Yes, there you go. Yeah. What you really mean is when you get a chance to make money, you got to do it. Yeah. So you have to do the railroad. Well, I'm a contractor on, so today I took the wheel loader down with the forks on it down to Kirkwood, outside of. So that's what you use as a
All right, and there we have it.
Forklift, like, yeah, the BNSF has got a panel plant, switching panel plant right next to copper.
So let's see, this goes right back into here, hopefully. All right, that looks good. Let me double check my framing. All right, so there's that set back in. And double check my contacts. I'll double check those when I have the base plate on. There's no turned bearings in this, unfortunately. Riverossi is a subsidiary of Hornby. Let's go ahead and put a little oil onto the gear here first, because this gear is dry.
It's like the old 9L section of track. My dad used to call it snap track.
And there is the oil onto the gear. So let's now go ahead and put the base keeper back on here. Maybe. My framing's still good?
I see a hand.
Alright. Probably been better off if I had the camera on the other side. But that ship has sailed.
You need about 6 GoPros.
Yes, I do. But I'm broke. Alright, there we go. There is the geared driver now put onto the rear truck. Did I just say geared driver? I meant rubber tired driver. So that's that process. Hopefully I did a good job of filming that. I probably didn't.
We can take it apart and you can do it again.
Yeah. The gentleman talking to behind the scenes here is Jeff Bushman. Yes, I forgot your last name. He does a lot of our weathering. But that's beside the point. So let's see here. So I actually kind of prefer the look of the oil tender, especially with the straight funnel. So to get the fuel load out,
Taking pictures?
video. That voice with Keith Potter, one of our lead electricians. Okay, I'm not dealing with this. But the oil tender would go there. There's some holes in the chassis there for that. Okay, now that that's back together, let's go ahead, head back to Benton and see if we can get up the hill now. Alright, here we are back at the bottom of Galena Hill. Ready to go. We now have the traction tire, the axle with the traction tire fitted. So let's go ahead, 30% throttle. Here we go. And by the bridge. We get through the tunnel. Major improvement right there. So one thing I've noticed after putting the traction tire axle on is this no longer slides at all. The back axle completely gripped the track and picked the front axle of the rear truck up, so there's no pushing it by hand after this unless you're completely picking that rear axle up. But yeah, there we go. So, I said it before, I'll say it again. I absolutely love this locomotive. We got a 1-to-1 scale version of a Heisler. We got a full standard gauge Heisler here in Freeport, Illinois, where we're at. Over at the Silver Creek, Stevenson and Silver Creek Railroad. If you're ever in the area, go check them out. As of recording this, their Heisler is out of action. I think it's got some boiler issue at the moment. But their Davenport and their Brookfield are great replacements. A couple of industrial diesels. Once again, beside the point, get a little right out there. If you're wondering why I chose the Curtis Lumber Company, my name is Curtis, so kind of easy choice there for me. So overall, I'm going to rate, if I had to give this engine a rating 1 out of 10, I'm going to say 8. It doesn't have a keep alive, so immediately loses power if you take it off the track. So it's going to have some issues on dead spots. If you're running a relatively level track, level layout, the factory wheels, non-traction tire wheels are perfectly fine. The low speed crawl is superb. You can even tell it's moving, can you? The motor is a little loud at higher speeds, but if you're running prototypical, you're probably not going to be running it fast enough for that to be an issue. But yeah, I'm happy with this engine. This is a great purchase. If I had the money, and I had a reason to, I would totally buy another one of these. Kind of hope they do another run of the 3-truck versions at some point. But that's all I've got. Like and subscribe for more, and let us know what you think. Have a good one.